All right, so circles are the next thing we're talking about. And the formula for the area of a circle, you already know, is pi r squared, and r is the radius. The first example here is this area of the circular putting green. If the diameter is 20 feet, so just, be careful what you're given. And it says to round to the nearest square foot. If the diameter is 20 feet, then the radius is 10 feet. So the area, which is pi r squared, is pi times 10 feet squared. Now, you know that pi is 3.14. So this will be 100 times pi, which is 314 square feet. Okay? All right. Next we have, we're given the area, and we want to find the radius. So this is the area. In problems like this, you start with the formula of the quantity that you're given. You're given area, you start with the formula for the area, and you plug in everything you have. The area here is 1,000 equals pi r squared. We divide by pi. R squared is equal to 318.3. So R is about 17.8 meters.
In these cases where it doesn't say where to round, where do you want to?
It's up to you. An outdoor accessories company manufactures circular covers for outdoor umbrellas. If the cover is 8 inches longer than the umbrella on each side, find the area of the cover in square inches. Okay? So we want to find the area of the cover. The inside circle is the umbrella, and the outside cover is, right? And that's the outside circle for the cover. So we need to find the radius. Now the radius of the inside is how big? 36 inches. So the radius of the cover, right, is 36 plus 8, 44 inches. That means the area is pi r squared. Pi times 44 squared is 6,082 square inches. Okay? Now, let's talk about areas of sectors. We talked about central angles, and we talked about how the central angle intercepts a certain arc, right? That was this. And we said, okay, that whatever the central angle's ratio was to the 360, right? So if the central angle was 1/4 of the 360, then the arc length was 1/4 of the circumference. Well, now it's a similar situation. If the central angle is, let's say, 1/6 of the whole 360, then the area covered is 1/6 of the entire area of the circle. All right? So the ratio of the angle to the full 360 is the same as the ratio of this area to the entire area. Okay? Meaning, the area over the full pi r squared, that ratio is the same as the ratio of the central angle over 360. Okay? If the central angle is 60, 60 over 360, that's 1/6, right? Well, the area of the sector over pi r squared, that would also be 1/6. Now, if we solve this for A, what would we get? If you multiply both sides by pi r squared, that's what you get. All right? So, summarizing one more time, suppose you have a circle and you have a central angle that's 90 degrees. Okay? How much of the full angle is that 90 degrees? 1/4. Now, if I shade in the area of that sector, right? How much of the full area is that? A fourth. So that's how we get it. So if the full area of the circle is 100 units squared, how much is the area of that shaded part? 25. You see what I mean? Okay. So it's proportions. All right, so here we want to find the area of a sector with a central angle measure of 150 degrees. So we want to find this area here. Well, that area, okay, is the same as the angle over 360 times pi r squared. What does that mean? Look at this one. The angle over 360, that's a quarter, right? And this area is 1/4 of the full area. So whatever the ratio is, it's that times the full area of the circle. Okay? So this is 150 over 360 times pi times 6 squared. Okay? So this is 15 pi altogether, which is equal to 47.1 centimeters squared. You can also, if you forget all this, you can also say, all right, x over 360 is equal to the area over pi r squared. You do a proportion. So 150 over 360 is equal to the area over pi 6 squared, and magically you get the same answer. Huh? It's completely up to you. Either way is totally the same. Okay? All right. So I'm going to give you half a minute to do this one. Okay? I'm going to pause for a minute. Half a minute. Right. The answer is 7.4. Okay? 53 over 360 times pi r squared. Now in this next one, what is the angle of the shaded part? 199. So the area is going to be 199 over 360 times pi r squared. Okay? And the area is about 10 square feet. Okay? All right. Moving on. All right. Area of the shaded region. Right? To get area of the shaded region, what you have to do is you have to find the area of the outer shape, the outside shape, whatever that might be. And you have to find the area of the unshaded region and subtract them. Okay? So in this first case, what's the area of the outside? What shape is the outside? It's a square. So what we have to do to find the area is we have to find the area of the square and subtract from it the area of the what? Circle. All right? Okay. Now, what's the area of the square? Well, let's see. If the whole side is 18 feet, then this, what's the area of the square? Right, base times height, so it's 18 feet squared minus, what's the area of the circle? Well, if the whole side is 18, then how much is half the side? 9, and that means that that's the radius, right? So the area of the circle is pi times the radius squared, and that's 324 minus 81 pi, altogether 69.5 square feet. All right. Here, okay, so what do we have? We have, what's the outside shape? A circle. What about the unshaded region? What shape do we have inside? Are those triangles? They are sectors, right? They're sectors. So basically, you can do a couple of things, right? You can either find the circle and then subtract from it the area of this or this, or you could just find the area of these two sectors, right? So let's just do the area of one sector and double it. Because the angles are the same, those two sectors are identical. Okay? How big is the angle in one of these? If this is 130, how big is the angle on top? 130, that makes it 260. That leaves 100, so each one of these is 50. So the area of one sector is equal to 50 over 360 times pi r squared, pi 3 squared. Okay? That means this is about 1.25 pi, which is 3.9 meters squared. That's the area of one sector. So how would you find the total area? You double it. 7.8 square meters. Okay? All right, so this homework will be due